Allow me to introduce you to the artist Keith Haring. Keith Haring is known as both a pop artist and a graffiti artist. Haring was known for using simple lines. He devoted a lot of his time to public works, which often carried social messages. He created more than 50 public works from 1982 to 1989 in dozens of cities around the world, many of which were created for charities, hospitals, children's daycare centers, and orphanages. We are now going to read a short story about Keith Haring. This story was written by Keith's sister. Keith Haring, the boy who just kept drawing. There was a boy named Keith. When he was little, his father taught him how to draw dogs and fish and funny things. His dad would draw a line, and then Keith would draw one. Soon the whole page would be full. From that time on, Keith never stopped drawing. Look, these are actual drawings that Keith and his father drew. This is a drawing that he did in 2nd grade. In elementary school, while taking tests, Keith doodled on the edge of his paper. When he handed in his work, his teacher would ask, "Why did you doodle on that important paper?" Keith didn't answer. He went back to his desk and just kept drawing. Sometimes Keith invited his friends to draw in the backyard clubhouse. Keith made symbols and said each one represented a letter of the alphabet. His friends asked, "Why do you use symbols to write?" Keith drew more symbols. It was his way of answering their question. He encouraged his friends to join him. As a teenager, Keith liked to draw in his bedroom with music playing loud. He would draw on every piece of paper he could find. His mother had to yell over the music, "Why can't you turn that music down and go outside to ride your bike?" But Keith had sold his bike to buy art supplies, so he answered, "Look at the cool drawings I did," and he just kept drawing. When Keith was in high school, he won first prize for his art. A successful couple from town offered to buy his drawing. Keith said, "No, thank you. If you enjoy my art, you could hang it on your wall. No charge." His sisters were shocked. "Why didn't you take that money?" they asked. Keith shrugged. He just wanted to keep drawing. Keith graduated from high school and went to the big city of Pittsburgh, to a school that would teach him about art. There were boys on the streets trying something new, breakdancing. He liked the crazy shapes of their bodies as they turned and flipped on the ground. While the music played loud, Keith started drawing wiggly lines. His teacher asked him, "Why are you drawing pictures that look like scrambled bodies? This is not how we taught you to draw." Keith knew how to draw. He just wanted to draw in different ways, and he kept drawing. Keith moved to the huge city of New York when he was 20 so he could draw with other artists. He started to draw all over the city, on walls, on sidewalks, and on paper that hung on lampposts. His drawings were washed away by the rain or torn down by street cleaners. Other artists asked Keith, "Why do you draw in places where your pictures are erased?" Keith didn't hear them. He was searching for another wall so he could keep drawing. Keith got a job delivering packages and sometimes rode the subway. One day he saw a panel of black paper on the wall in a station. He rushed outside to buy chalk and came back and began to draw. The white chalk made bright, smooth lines on the black paper. Day after day, Keith filled the empty panels in the subway station with art. Soon people who rode the subway were looking for the white chalk drawings. No one knew the name of the artist, but his drawings were easy to recognize. People asked him, "Why are you drawing here? What do your pictures mean?" Keith said, "What do you see? You decide what they mean." Where Keith lived, there was trash on the streets, and people didn't always say hello to each other. One day, he and his friends cleaned up 20 bags of garbage in front of a long wall. Then Keith painted square faces with smiles and body shapes dancing upside down. The neighbors liked the drawings and stopped to say thank you. A policeman came by and lectured Keith. "Why did you do this? I have to give you a ticket because you didn't get permission." Keith said fine and just kept drawing. Soon people wanted to see more of Keith's drawings, and he was asked to display his artwork in an art gallery. Art was hung from floor to ceiling, and in between he painted on the walls. Keith invited everyone to come and enjoy his artwork. All of Keith's artwork sold. The gallery owner asked him, "What are you going to do with all this money?" Keith said, I read in the newspaper that there were kids who don't have enough to eat. I didn't have this money yesterday, and I was happy. If I don't have it tomorrow, I will still be happy. All the children need to eat. I'll send the money to them. The gallery owner gasped. Why? Keith just smiled and started to draw again. Now people were inviting Keith to draw in famous museums and exhibit in galleries all over the world. He was proud that he had become a successful artist. But wherever he went, Keith insisted he painted a mural so everyone could enjoy his artwork, not just the people who had money to buy it. During a visit to Paris, France, Keith painted on the outside of a children's hospital, 6 stories high. Newspaper reporters came to take pictures and asked, "Why did you paint on a hospital? Do you think it will make the sick children feel better?" Keith didn't have time to answer. He had to finish the painting. When the Statue of Liberty was over 100 years old, Keith drew an outline of the famous statue on a huge piece of vinyl fabric. Then he asked 900 kids to help him with the drawing. Keith told them, "Draw anything, whatever you want. No one can say it's good or bad. It's yours." When the giant painting was displayed, people were amazed to see what Keith and the kids had made. But the art critics couldn't understand why a famous artist was drawing with kids. But Keith, he just kept drawing. Keith painted all over the world. He would draw on anything, anytime, anywhere. Wherever he went and whatever he did, he would not stop. He just kept drawing. Now everyone wanted to know, and together they shouted, "Why? Why do you draw all the time? Why do you give your artwork away? Why do you draw on buildings, on people, on clothing, on furniture, on subway walls, on cars, on skateboards, on walls that belong to no one, and on things that to be thrown out? Why do you draw on everything?" Keith stopped drawing just for a moment, and he answered, "I draw all the time because there are so many spaces to fill. I give my drawings away to help make the world a better place. I draw everywhere because everyone needs art." Then Keith turned to the back of the street, took a piece of chalk from his pocket, and just kept drawing. All right, art friends, and now for our challenge. We are going to draw our very own Keith Haring inspired portraits. First, we are going to begin by drawing ourselves. Don't forget, Keith was known for simple lines, so make sure to keep it simple. Most of Haring's drawings, he drew the body with just a round head. No need to add eyes, nose, or mouth. A circle will do just fine. After you draw yourself, fill the paper with things you like. I am filling my paper with art supplies because, of course, I love art. Make sure your drawings are about you, not me. Fill your paper with Fortnite characters or books you like. It's up to you. The drawing is about you. Once you have drawn all your objects, go ahead and fill the spaces in between with doodles. And just like Keith, just keep drawing. Once you have completed your drawing, go ahead and add some color to it. I can't wait to see your masterpieces. Make sure you send me your artwork.